You got a haircut.
Helen?
I did. I got them all cut.
Wow, you're looking good.
Yeah, that'll last a long time.
You're looking beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Welcome.
And you all also.
Yes. Yeah, I would like to take this chance to welcome all the Rotarians online, and Rotarians in the August House. You're most welcome for today's meeting. As usual, we're going to start our Rotary meeting with the order of fellowship. The order of fellowship, we will have the Rotary West, it will be led by Lenny Christie. The lower top is going to be led by Edema, the RCC member. We'll have the four-way test, will be led by Khalid, the youth. Then have the final toast, which will be led by Aziza. Then we have the object of Rotary. Innocent will take us through the RCC team leader. Thank you so much. With that, I think we can stand up for the order of fellowship. First thing I think is taking us through. Yes, Rotary Grace will be read by Lenny Christian. For what we have received and what we are about to receive, may we be truly thankful, ever mindful of the needs of the less privileged. Amen. Next is Edema. Nizami taking us through the loyal toasts.
To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. We have the poetess. I think Khalid is taking us through.
Yeah. The poetess of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Thirdly, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourthly, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thanks.
Thank you. Let Nelson takes us through the object of Rotary.
The object of Rotary, is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as the basis of wealthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster, first, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity to service. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Fourth, the development of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a wide fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was all. Can we take our seats?
Madam President, we have a new guest, Leslie. Can we?
Nah, it's actually Tony. That's my wife's name.
Okay.
So, yeah, she uses Zoom as well. So, definitely Tony, and good to be here again.
That Tony. Thank you. Good to see you again, Leslie. Tony, sorry.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
I welcome all the Rotarians and the non-Rotarians who are with us, Rotarians online, and the Rotarians in the August House. You're most welcome for today's meeting. Today we are going to report on basically on the villages we visited. Like we have Tiju. Somebody, Nancy Zulek was supposed to report about Tiju. I think since she's still on the way. I think Chris was in Tiju. We'll also now give update on Tiju because I was not there. Then we are going to give update on Machangana. We visit the community of Machangana, as you see from Chris's background. We visited the community, we introduced to them the projects in Machangana. Like we had a project of latrine. We also have the project for hand washing facility, that is tip taps. From tip taps, we shall go to wells. Then from wells, we also have distribution of filters. Since Chris came with enough filters from US, we have enough filters in our office. The filters can at least serve 8 villages, the community. So after distribution of filters, we shall also have malaria eradication. Then after malaria eradication, we shall go to microloans. So those are the projects we introduced in Machangana, and the community members of Machangana are very happy. They are even willing to contribute community contributions. They are willing to also offer the community contribution. They have accepted the project in good faith. They said they are ready. No NGO has ever come to them to implement such a wonderful project. So they are grateful to receive Chris for the first time a white visiting Machangana. That was an amazing issue. That was an amazing to them. They also praised Asite Women Group because they knew it was through Asite. That's why Machangana came to be taken as a new project. So they thank the members of Asite Women Group, since Asite is also in Machangana. They are so grateful to the women, and was still most grateful to Chris and Helen, who have been giving money to the women of Asite, also to the women who have empowered the women. You know, in most homes, women are the ones taking active part. The women pay school fees. The women takes care of the home, also takes care of the husband. And most of the men just go to by the roadside. Even you get a woman who goes to the farm and does most of the work. One comes back, comes with the firewood on the head, which is home, also takes a jerrycan to go and fetch water. The water is not nearby. A woman can also take miles to go and fetch water. One comes from home and starts cooking for the rest of the women. And cooking for the women, also a woman sees it that small kids has to go to school. Kids are here, kids want to go into school, kids want to feed, they want medication, they want so many things. And it's only the woman who takes care of all that. So the women were very grateful that malaria is going to be eradicated in their area. They are at least going to save money. The money they have been spending on so many things, they are going to save that money. So they are very grateful to welcome the project to Machangana, and they thank all the partners who have really contributed to the success of the project going to Machangana. And they said they are ready to provide things like food for the engineers. They are ready to provide accommodation for the engineers, provide security for people who are going to drill well. Then also they provide sites for the wells, provide materials, e.g. brick, river sand, stones, provide repair and maintenance once the well gets spoiled. And some of the members say that they are ready to, at least if a well is dug in their homes, so that they can maintain it, they can sell it to earn some income. They can also sell it for sustainability. They said once they sell the well, even if it was for the community will have, they will also have the community will have some project. They will have at least water user committees. The water user committees will include the chairperson, the secretary, the treasurer. They'll see to it that once the water is sold, the money is kept. When the money is kept, at least when medicine gets finished, malaria eradication medicine gets finished, they can use that money to repair the water. And they can also use that money to buy more medications so that they can eliminate malaria once we run out of source of money. So that was what from the community. And on the side of the latrines, they said they can dig the pits and cover them. Then they can also install tip taps. They can provide sites for laying bricks. They provide doors, walls, and roofs for the latrines. Then for the malaria, they can provide storage. They can also provide at least 2 VSTs, volunteers per household, to help the treatment of the malaria. Then on the side of the RIDGs, they will conduct baseline survey together. We then also plan with the community and the local partners. And in the meeting, we were not alone. We had the LC3 who was with us in the meeting. We also had a representative councillor from LC5's Councillor for Health. He was also with us in the meeting. And the LC, the area councillor was with us. Then we also have the parish chief who was also with us. And it involved the LC3 committed himself by saying that he's ready to give another support to that village. And they are so grateful to the partners who have brought that project to that area. And the area has been suffering a lot because of water. Sanitation has been a problem in that area. They are grateful to all the partners who have really come up a long way to see that such need to be improved. I think with time, Yumbe is going to be a wonderful village, a new town to be born again. Once the project. Yeah, we had in Kuru, we had the Atiba. We had Atiba, and most of the villages, when they come, once the visitors, once they visit Kuru Hospital, they are referred to a smart village, that is Atiba. So we will feel that also most of the like the LCT was very happy, was so amazing to see Chris, and also the councillor for LC5, they were very happy. And the LC5 himself was also very happy when Chris paid a courtesy call to his office to introduce the project we are going to do in Yumbe. So most of the members were very happy and they were really excited about the whole project. Then with us, we also have Dr. Samuel from South Sudan, who is joining us for the training. And I think he's with us today. He came all the way from South Sudan, from WOW. That is an amazing issue, just for our training. So, I think I would also like to recognize him, so that to say hi to the members on the members who are on the side, on the line. So you would say a word. I'd like to introduce him. And also with us, we are going to have Brighton, the engineer for drilling the wells. He's already in Uganda. He's in Arua purchasing the items. I think tomorrow, today or tomorrow, he's going to be in Yumbe. We were thankful that really at least from next week, not next year, next week, we can kick up with the project of drilling the wells. Data, you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Data is our fellow from South Sudan. Data Samuel. Yeah. You can introduce yourself.
Yes, okay, yes.
So Data, you're most welcome to
Thank you.
Uganda, and you're most welcome for the wonderful training which we are going to carry on. He's from a smart home in South Sudan, so he will say more about himself. You're most welcome. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure to see you.
Thank you,
These are our partners.
thank
You
you,
can say more about yourself.
thank you. My name is Data Samuel. And like she said, I come from South Sudan, from a village called WOW. WOW is one of the states in the Republic of South Sudan. And I'm implementing WAS projects, and I work with a Smart Center. In WOW, we have a Rotary Club, and I did a couple of their sites. They wanted us to drill for them some wells, and I did a couple of their sites. I do believe on my return to WOW, probably around April or May, I would be beginning drilling their wells. And I'm so impressed and happy to hear from Chris about the Rotary Club here in Yumbe. And I think there is something special that is attaching us together, because my presence here is basically to do a training with my brother who is coming from Malawi. And I know in this training already I'm made to learn that some of the members of the Rotary Club will be part of them, and I'm impressed, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ciao.
Yeah, thank you, members. That was data from South Sudan, has introduced himself. And that was update from me about Machangana and the rest of the things. Back to Chris about the update of Tiju.
Saturday, we took the trip up to Tiju, and Tiju is near the border with South Sudan, so the people in Tiju speak the same language as Data. So in Tiju, rather than saying Mingoni, we say Daparana. And rather than saying Awadifo Ambogo, we say Tinate. So the languages get by me, but let's see, one of the Rotarians, Nafish, introduced the project to her home village, Tiju, and in Tiju, she took pictures of photos of where they get water. And they get water along with the cows and other animals in an open hole. And I asked in Tiju, had any families had a child die from malaria? And everybody raised their hand. And I asked, has anyone had a family member die from malaria? And everybody raised their hand. So we are signing an agreement with Tiju, just like this one that we signed with the Stipe Groups Club, saying what we will do, what the community will do, and every family signs that they will work with it to make it happen. We have 1 year to get these projects done. So now we have 4 projects. Is it 4? Maybe only 3. Ramadan, Machangana, and Tiju. But also we have the malaria project sponsored by Malaria Partners International, which is a Rotary group out of Seattle. And they approved a $10,000 grant for Rotarians to work with certain communities, the communities that the Rotarians did community assessments, the communities that we found to be suffering high rates of malaria. And the Rotarians will carry out these projects, testing everyone, providing information how to prevent malaria, treating everyone. And we just had Mother Rotarian from Arua, Gloria, join us online. And Gloria has spent the day buying supplies for the well drilling training. The importance of this well drilling training that Data is with and Brighton is with, the importance of this well drilling training, it is a borehole drilled by hand. So rather than the borehole costing $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, the borehole will cost less than $1,000. So rather than doing in Machangana, rather than doing one borehole, we can do 6 boreholes for the 2,400 people. And if the people of Machangana contribute and buy subsidize a borehole, then we might be able to do 7 or 8 boreholes in Machangana. So we're signing with Tiju, we've signed with Machangana, we've signed with Ramada, and we're moving ahead in the Rotarians, working with the communities to improve the lives of the communities. And the one big hope is that Rotarians and TSP global groups fill out community assessment forms so we can ask for help to cover more communities throughout the Yumbe area. One little bit of information. First of all, the chairman for all of Yumbe, and Yumbe roughly has 1 million people in it. The chairman said on Monday, at the time we were supposed to go to Machangana, so we were late, please go to his office and pay him a courtesy visit. And he had the mayor of Yumbe, I believe, the LC3, in his office with him. So both the mayor and the chairman of the entire district of 1 million people asked us to please come over and talk with him about what we do. Also, I called the medical director for UNHCR, for Bidi Bidi refugee camp. So in this area, in this district, there is a refugee camp of 240,000 South Sudanese refugees. Imagine if that were in an American state and we had, say, in Kansas, 750,000 refugees, or in Florida, 3 million refugees. But here we have 240,000. I asked the director of medical services for UNHCR whether he had seen the village, Achiba. And he said, of course, it is close to his office. He visited the village. And then he told me, this is what I understood, he told me. UNHCR had changed how they do diarrhea and malaria prevention based on what the Rotarians did in this small village and what he saw and what he learned from what the Rotarians had done in Achiba. So we did 638 people, and then he took that and he's using it for 240,000 refugees.
That is really, really big news. That is amazing, a wonderful contribution that the Rotary Club of Yumbe has made.
We're taking little steps forward, but Rotary is about service, and we're also about example and showing the best type of service we can give. And this is what we hope, that others will copy from what we do. And it looks like for 240,000, they have copied what we did in one small village. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I have a question. Do we have any actual data or quotes from people about how there's less malaria, fewer children are dying? Do we have a survey to document that? Or quotes from families saying, I spend much less on medications than I used to. something that we can share with other people.
Yeah, I think the community of Achiba, they now spend less money in buying medication. Since they already have the latrines with them, they have the medicine, so they don't spend that much. They now save money.
So also, we have a before and after survey for Achiba, and what the before survey said was that the people in Achiba spent about 40% on their household income treating malaria. And at the time of the post-survey, they spent, I believe the survey said, they spent no money treating malaria. So part of the reason they spent no money is because we have provided the medicines, but part of the reason is that the malaria incidence decreased 75%. So if you have a lower rate of malaria, you spend less money on it. The one thing that many studies report is malaria is a cause of poverty. It is not just a symptom of poverty, it causes poverty. It puts people in the hospital, it puts people in the health center, it puts people in bed, it puts people suffering funerals, it puts people wasting their money and not being able to work because they're sick and feverish. And in the village of Achiba, when we started, I believe that we found that about 74% of everyone in the village had malaria. And after we did the project, I think it was about 34% had malaria. So it's not perfect. Part of the reason it is not perfect is we have such a hard time getting the malaria nets from the government. We are told the US government spent 61 million on malaria for this year, that they bought 34 million mosquito nets for the 45 million Ugandans. And when we go to the households, we do not find mosquito nets, or the mosquito nets we find are ripped with holes in it, years old, and they do not work. So without some way to prevent the mosquitoes from getting to the people, then we still have a problem.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was so wonderful update from you. Next, I think we'll update from Christine.
Yeah, maybe it's just an additional information from Machangana. At the time we visited Machangana, it was a request from the LC3 office that if possible, this is a very good program, amazing program. The only thing is that now Yumbe is becoming a big town, and they are making requesting us to make the toilet to be how do they call it, for extracting the dislodging the latrines, because they have a common place where they will go and empty the fecal, so that they also manufacture it to be a manure tomorrow, that people can share it and put it in their garden. So that was the request. The house has to be different, and then the slides, the septic tank has to be out, so that every time people will not go back to redig their latrine pits. They will only be hiring the vehicle to come and empty the fecal matters and take into the, sludge? Yeah, that is the information that was missing. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chrissy, for the amazing update you have given us. I think another update is most of the veterans we assigned the other day to look for a plot for building the women's center. So we are yet to get information from them whether they have found the plant, the land for the women's center, or they have not found it. I think it has been, we have assigned responsibility for all the Rotarians to look for the land, at least get 3 to 4 quotations of the land so that we see the lowest bid or the highest bid is which one. So that we can go on and negotiate with the landlords.
So explain the importance of a training center for Yumbe.
I think once we have the training center in Yumbe, we shall be having various activities. Like one, we shall have tailoring. We shall, in the tailoring, we shall have making of sanitary pads, making of diapers for the baby. Then we shall also be making shops. We shall also, for the youths, we are going to have so many activities, like what the chairman for the youth requested. We shall have like a mechanic training, welding, then bricklaying, things we have the Machiga machine with us here to now be very easy. Then we shall also be requested like somebody who knows how to repair computers, because most times like in the computer center, the computer services, once the computers in the district are spoiled, they hire somebody from Kampala very expensively. You come in the field, the person whose computer got spoiled has to pay your transport, pay your accommodation, and also pay your charges for repairing the computer. So the youths also demanded for that. They demanded so many activities which could also involve them. And now since most of the ladies drop out from school, so it will also be an added advantage for both the young ladies to join in the center, carry trainings like even saloon, catering. So many activities will take place in the center so that we keep the young ladies to know that still they have a bright future once they get into the trainings, not leaving alone the youth actually, because the world of tomorrow will be led not with us for us, but now before the youths. The youths will have to put them in the right track so that they can avoid like timing the images of the communities around. Once they're involved in such activities, I think it can keep them busy. Most of the bad things like killing somebody, like robbing somebody will all be stopped. So once the youths are in the center, they are doing all that because they have nothing to do.
Madam President, what is the importance of having reusable sanitary pads for girls in high school?
The sanitary pads, it's rewashable. It's less costly. You can use it, you wash it, it dries, then you use it again.
Do
To
girls,
avoid costs.
do girls leave high school because they begin menstruating?
Yeah, some at times feel ashamed once you in menstruation, you go to class. Once your uniform gets started, since the schools are mixed up with the boys, once they look at you, they start laughing. Then it makes the women, the ladies shy in the school. So once we make the sanitary pads, we shall distribute it to the schools, some to the schools freely as a donation from the Rotarians. Then we resell others. Others we can distribute to the health centers for the women who are giving, for the young ladies who are giving birth. They can as well use it. UNHCR was distributing those washable pads, but now they've stopped that contract. Nobody now uses distributes the washable pads, and still on the market the market is very high. People still look for that. So we feel if the center is there and we make those rewashable center parts, it will at least generate income for the center for the sustainability. That will be one other thing. In the center, we shall at least not make the people cut the training free. At least we put some little charge to maintain the center. That's what I can put on. Thank you so much.
And will there be some entertainment for the kids, sports facilities at the center?
Pardon?
Will there be a soccer field or some kind of sports
Yes,
center at the, okay,
yeah, sports will be, because sports bring all the youths in the one place. It will be both for boys and girls.
The challenge is land is very expensive here. Getting more land is more expensive. A soccer field is very large.
Yeah.
So we have to, we have, our partner, Good Foundations International, another nonprofit in Dodge, Wisconsin, will have to raise money, and raising more money for more land is more difficult.
yeah,
So we will do everything we can, but we're,
Sure.
limited,
yeah,
yes.
it's difficult.
So that was update from me and update from the rest of the Rotarians in the house. Yeah, we. Will answer something?
Well, we've got
What
the
Gloria?
president of our mentoring club, President Moses, online, and we have our mother from our mentoring club, our mentor,
That's what-
Gloria from the Arua Club, who has been working with us today, buying material supplies for the wells online. Possibly they would like to give short reports and or introductions.
Yeah. Our mother Gloria and also advisor to Rotary Club of Yumbe, you're most welcome for updates. And also my fellow President Moses Amuzo, you're also welcome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, you cannot see me on the video, but I'm seated
Oh, you
here.
look beautiful on the video.
So I'm seated with Brighton Kaniki at the Heritage Courts Hotel. We've been shopping the whole morning. We first did window shopping from yesterday, and then we have bought some of the materials which Brighton thinks are the right quality. So we are now here at the Heritage Courts, seated and typing out the things we have bought with a cost, and I'll share it with you on a spreadsheet once I have finished typing. But you can hear also from Brighton. We were with Lillian and Theo, but engineer Theo has gone for a burial, and Lillian has gone to her farm to harvest some bananas. So she will come and join us. But we've had a hectic day. It is so hot and dry in Arua, but we've braved the sunshine and we've bought some things. So you can hear from Brighton.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Brighton. We look forward to meeting you.
Yeah, Chris. Okay, so just like what Gloria have said, we have managed to find some of the materials, and few maybe when we are there tomorrow, we'll sit down and see what we can do. We have to order from Kampala. So, but we tried our best to go move around and buy whatever we can buy from here in Arua. So that's it. We are here compiling all what we have done. So tomorrow for sure I will meet. That's it from here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gloria and Brighton. So Moses, you're most welcome.
Hello, members. Thank you so much. Really, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that I've been able to follow you people today. Usually at the hospital, the network is poor, but today I've been able to hear you people. It's very great being with you people. I hope that we will pass by your place tomorrow.
Okay. That's nice. It's nice to hear from you. And nice to hear from the Rotarians online. I'm requesting if there's any other Rotarian in the August house. I think we have a youth here. Khalid wants to add something. Khalid, you're most welcome.
Yes, my name is called Khalil. I'm going to raise some concern about the youth because as for now, the youth, we have realized that the football has been something very important for the youth who are like that. As the district football federation of Yumbe has organized some league which is going on. And then I took my time to move around to watch those games were like that. I realized that all those guys who are playing those leagues, these are what ongoing school students, and they're real suffering because you see those guys, they are playing those games. You see most of the players, they are playing barefooted and like that. There's no playing football. Uniforms are not there. They're not just real suffering one like that. And we have seen that these youths with this football, they always what they are in fact they saw their talents were like that, and it's the one that needs is helping them. See, when the school finds them, somebody, the youth is playing well like that, he gets them because they are ongoing school student. Then they come, the school will pick the passion, then goes and schools what for free one like that as a basher they give him when you have a good player one like that, and which has also cut a late one, which has cut expense to the parents because you know most of these youths they have been paid by their mothers one like that because men in Yumbe here find it it's very hard for them to afford to pay their children to school in secondary schools one like that. So those youths they are really doing their best by playing these footballs. Then it also helping them as what to strengthen their health wise, that strengthen them as a physical to be physical, so that those issues of like malaria or like that, they cannot be able to catch them anyhow like that. And you also see it also keeps them busy, not to do things like this criminal activity like that. Because when they organize like that, they always know they mean their business. When it's time for football, they go and do their trainings well like that. Then they come back, they help their parents well like that. So to me, I've seen it so more important if you are to support these youths, maybe because these clubs, because you have seen there are 20 clubs in the Yumbe district which has registered for that league, and only that they are just facing a lot of some challenges were like that, like football. You find them sometimes only they cannot only have a club can have the one football to play, which is not really good. Then it will be much important when these guys have been provided the uniforms, maybe some footballs were like that to their clubs were like that can keep them busy so that they don't do such things like criminal acts were like that. Because it also helps them to keep them at least every time find them the friendships. They make friendships when they go and meet that club, they can play at the end of the day, they become friends or like that. So in the future, you find that they keep on broadening their friendship or like that, which could also be one of the reasons or one of the ways to keep our youth so that these acts of criminality or like that will be reduced. So I believe the Rotarians online, if you could support this idea, at least these clubs, they are visible, they can move around, then at least those items can be there, like football, rain boots, some uniforms, or like that, to support them so that they can be able to at least
did we lose the Yumbe Rotarians?
I think so.
Yeah, well, that's strange because we're on their connection. So I'm not sure how we're still here if their connection died.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
However, yeah, so I was just emailing my daughters-in-laws and sons about the soccer ball and the shoes. I mean, I was having a time understanding that man, but I gather they play barefoot and the league has one soccer ball for them to use. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it seems like it shouldn't be all that difficult for some group of students from the United States or someplace to find money for shoes and soccer balls. Gloria, you probably know, how expensive is it to send those things from the United States if people have slightly used things? Is that real expensive? Or is it
Well,
better to buy locally?
maybe they can buy locally, because when you ship them in, you still have to pay some charges at the customs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it may be best to buy them locally. They are now available. The sports items, the footballs, the jerseys, the balls, they are now available in Kampala, in Arua. So it shouldn't be a problem finding them.
Yeah. Yeah, it would only be sending them from the States if there was a significant cost savings. But it
Yeah.
sounds like there isn't.
Helene, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to first thank you for sending me the information that you sent me. I have taken a look at it, and I just wanted to give you a quick update that I am at this point considering, bringing this issue to our Rotary Board here in Peekskill, New York, with the thought of exploring the possibility of a project or a district grant application to assist. No guarantees at this point. I'm still gathering information. But what you sent me was very informative, and I just wanted to thank you for passing that along.
Okay, thank you for any help that you can give. And I'm glad that you attend these meetings because I think you get a taste of just how organized and focused these Rotarians in Yumbe and how effective they have been. So they are, a dollar spent there is probably as effective as $10 spent on some other project because they have low-cost labor, they have cost-effective methodologies, and I'm just blown away that the UNHCR is copying what the ladies did in Yumbe.
That's pretty impressive. Yep. Yeah, for me, my ability to attend these meetings is going to diminish soon. In my role as vice president of the club, I'm responsible this year for organizing and conducting our largest fundraiser of the season. And so once I get into that process, that's going to be pretty much all consuming. That said, our incoming president, and I think you know that we kind of change on the fiscal year. So my next step is to inform him of what's going on, the information that I've gathered so far, and bring our current president and our soon-to-be president, on board and see what they'd like to do. So.
And do you receive our bi-weekly newsletter?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, I'll have to add you to the list and
well, I can send you my email address. Well, you already have my email address. So
yeah, but is it a Gmail address?
No, it is not.
Okay, because Gmail blocks us, but okay, and then please forward that to the other club members so that they get a better flavor of what we do in general and a lot of the issues also focus on Yumbe.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that. So let me see here. I'm not a Zoom expert. Let me put in my email address. Oops.
Lillian, Gmail blocks, what did I hear?
Not 100%, but when we look at which newsletters never get opened and then check with people, we find that even some people on our board who had Gmail and would certainly open the newsletter couldn't find it in spam or anywhere. So yeah, Gmail has, and I've heard that from other NGOs too, that they have very strict filters.
Well, I need to, because I'm not getting it.
You're not getting it either?
I don't believe so. I'll go back and look in spam or in someplace. There's no, I don't believe I am.
Okay, let me check you to make sure that you're.
Yeah, sometimes I get them, or sometimes I hear from you, but I don't think I'm getting a regular email.
Yeah, it's just very time consuming for me to go in and check to see who's opening and who isn't and follow up, but.
Well, I just sent it to you via direct message, so would you let me know if you received it?
Okay. Okay, so Melissa, I'm
Yeah, I'm checking too.
Oh, it shows that you opened the one from January 26th. Melissa Masoner, yeah.
Yeah, the last one that I have on mine is 126.
Yeah, well, that was the last one we sent out because we sent them out every 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, no, and I didn't open it. I don't know why.
Oh,
Yep, it's in inbox, so apology.
okay, and
Okay.
Tony, your last name is Washington, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, so it looks like I don't have you in here, but I'll add you. So you'll get our newsletter tomorrow.
Okay, and you did get my email address.
Right, Trackman 208.
Yep. I do have a Gmail account, but I use some. This is my main account, so.
Yeah, that's good because, like I say, they block us. So I sent Chris an email. I haven't heard back from him, so I think maybe they're lost.
Maybe I could give you all an update on the
Okay.
dues. Excuse me, on the dues situation. I heard the other day from our friend in Switzerland that had said that Yumbe would not have to pay for all the subscriptions. And she got the word back from somebody somewhere that said that is not allowed after all. So she was very apologetic, but we will now be paying for a digital, which is less expensive than the magazines, but a digital copy for each member at $6 per member. So I see advocacy. This is not fair to all concerned.
Right.
No.
So I don't know what, where, or how we can go the next step with that. I'm afraid our friend in Switzerland may have gotten a little in trouble. I don't know that, but it sounded like she is now in another job and is very apologetic for misinformation that she's been passing to us for many months. So.
Yeah, well, I'm writing a book on, did I tell you this? I'm writing a book called Immense Missed Opportunities. And one of the chapters that I just wrote was about how Rotary is missing some opportunities by not taking these women in Yumbe very seriously and understanding that if you really want to implement all 7 areas of focus all throughout the world, you need contacts all throughout the world in poor communities. So they need to accommodate these women and support more groups like this. So I'll add that to the
I'll send you
my book.
I'll send you the correspondence. It's Of course, it's beautiful correspondence, but it's the new person is not as what shall I use the word? Sensitive, empathic as the former person.
Yeah, I think that the Yumbe Club doesn't fit the mold of how they view Rotarians, but they need to change I think they need to change their.
And
How
Helene,
so? I'm interested.
and Helene and let's see, Tony, is that right?
Yes.
You,
Mhm.
you all understand Rotary International better than I do. Chicago versus Switzerland, where do we, the international meets in Chicago, that's where the Rotary Board is, correct?
I am absolutely not sure. So I'm new to leadership in Rotary. Okay, so I just became vice president in July of last year. So I have not taken any of the Rotary leadership training yet. So I can't really answer your question. That's going to cause me to go find out what I need to know so that I can answer it. But right now I couldn't tell you. So I'm gathering that you're getting some resistance. Is that what I'm hearing from Rotary International, or just?
Maybe Gloria could help with this, but
Yes.
it seemed to me that it took a very long time to get their charter approved.
Yes.
There was some concern that they were all women, but there's been lots of clubs that are all men. So maybe it's just my paranoia. Gloria, what did you feel like their
What's the question again?
do you feel that there was any resistance to admitting the Rotary Club of Yumbe? It just seemed like it took a very long time to get their application approved.
Well, I think they were just going through. There's that new law in Rotary that there should be inclusion and not to segregate against other gender. So I think when they looked at the application of Yumbe and they were all female, they thought maybe there was a deliberate move to leave out the men, but we had to explain. And when the district governor came and visited them, we explained the circumstances about how that club was formed. They understood and they were able to grant them a club status. So
Yes.
I don't think, I think they just needed to understand why they are 100% women and why there are no men in the club. But when we explained and given the situation of Yumbe, it was understood and they granted them a club status.
Yeah, that's a new initiative in Rotary, pretty much this year, and they've been driving it pretty hard. So I understand where the resistance or the initial resistance may have come from, but I'm happy that you were able to explain it and overcome it.
Yes.
Yes, that's been as hard as it was to have women admitted to all men's clubs for decades later for them to
I
come
know.
back and say.
I know.
Things have now come full circle.
Yes. I went to Denmark in 2003 and I Googled where the nearest Rotary Club was. And when I went to that club, the sergeant told me that I'm in the wrong place. I said, no, I am not in the wrong place. I am a Rotarian from Uganda. And I gave them my Rotary ID. They said, no, as far as they're concerned, there are no women Rotarians.
Really?
Really?
Yes, that was in Denmark in 2003. Very interesting. So they never let me sit in the meeting. I hung out there until the meeting ended. And then I told them, I'm very disappointed. I'm a Rotarian from Uganda, from the Rotary Club of Arua. And I knew the Rotary meeting sits here. But if they cannot let me in, I'm disappointed. I made it to them. And then after that, I left.
Yeah, that
That's
is
sad.
terrible.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had some fun international experiences both in England and in Australia. One club said, "Don't lecture us about having women in the club. We're looking for the proper one."
Oh,
So we have come a long way. But again, I know it's time, but I really do believe that we could do some advocacy. Gloria, I remember early, you were feeling some resistance too about the dues, that it's important to keep it the same around the world, and that we didn't want to create any resistance for the Yumbe Club. Did I understand that?
Yeah, well, my explanation was that Rotary International dues are worldwide, and it's a uniform rate. But I think what makes a difference is what we pay at the district level and at the country level. But the RI dues are standard for the whole, for Rotarians all over the world. It's the same rate because it's approved by the Council of Legislation at the RI Convention.
Mhm.
but Rotary could have scholarships for certain clubs, in the interest of being fair to all concerned. That would level the playing field a little bit.
Is that something that is happening, Helene?
No, but that's something
No.
that I think would be a good idea. That's what I'm proposing in my book. So what are the district dues in Uganda? What do they have to pay extra over RI dues?
Is it how much? It keeps changing every year. But
Just
in
more or
our,
less.
yeah, so in our club, Rotary Club of Arua, our total dues are 500,000 shillings per Rotary year.
So for each Rotarian, 500,000 Uganda shillings.
Yes. And
Okay.
I think for Yumbe, we had agreed at 420,000, I think.
So that's about $80 or $90, right?
Yes.
Per person. So that's a hefty amount for them to pay.
I did hear that there is some adopting of clubs.
Oh, really?
But it was Gloria and Moses, you would know, is there another club in Uganda that's adopting a club, or someplace else in the region? Have you heard of this adoption idea?
I am not aware of it.
My friend,
Neither am I.
Yeah.
I do know that there are clubs who partner with other clubs on projects. But yeah, I'm not aware of any sponsorship, per se, of one Rotary Club of another. I would have to ask.
Yeah, I will go back and look at that with my friend in Switzerland. Again,
I have to say, it's time for me to drop out. I've got a lot of things to do. One of my other responsibilities is getting speakers for our weekly meetings, and I need to turn my attention to that. And I'm also trying to organize a remote meeting. Our local high school has created, at some expense, a STEAM center, a center for science, technology, engineering, math, and the arts. And we've been very supportive of them as a club. And now I'm trying to get our club to go hold a meeting at the high school in the very near future. And I have to organize that. So I have a busy day ahead of me, even though I'm retired.
I know all about that. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for whatever help you can give, and I hope to see you next week.
Yeah, that may or may not be possible. I have home issues too. My wife was diagnosed with bladder cancer about 6 months ago. So we're going through some stuff with that. So,
Yeah, very
Um,
sorry to hear that.
yeah, well, it looks okay right now, so hopefully it'll stay that way. But all those things keep you on your toes. So,
Yes. Yes.
so whether I attend or not, please know, our next board meeting, is the first Wednesday of March, and I hope to have enough information by then, to bring this to the board and see, what, the board thinks and where we might go with this. Whether it would be some kind of support from our club by itself, or whether we would look to do something more sustainable, and maybe in partnership with the district or other clubs in our district.
Our club has a happy hour with a purpose once a month, and we invite all kinds of people to come and we tell them about some project, and it's a way to get outsiders to raise awareness and also raise some money. And it's
That's
another
interesting.
excuse to get together and have fun. Yeah.
So you're a
we're having-
Rotarian also?
Pardon me?
You're a Rotarian also?
Yes. So our club is
Okay.
we're having a happy hour with a purpose on the 23rd on the first anniversary of Ukraine to raise money for Ukraine, for example. And now, of course, Turkey and Syria, there's just no end of
No.
super good causes.
Happy hour with a purpose. I really like that.
Yeah.
Well, so do I. I've never heard of that before, and I'm gonna float that with my club. It's interesting.
It's also good because we try to pick venues that maybe need more patrons, especially if it's in the 5:30 to 7:30 hour when some restaurants or places aren't busy on an off night. So it helps the local economy, and it builds goodwill and better friendship. We get together and share happy times and learn about a good cause. And it's
It
pretty
also
easy.
heightens,
It's
it also
easy to
heightens the
organize.
awareness of the community about Rotary.
Right.
So, which I think is a good thing. So it sounds like a good idea.
Right, you invite outsiders too, and it doesn't take a lot of planning. Once you've done a couple, we usually have some kind of a raffle too. We have, like, we're gonna have some Ukrainian vodka and some Ukrainian beer and some Ukrainian snacks, stuff like that. So,
Nice.
And your Rotary Club is located where?
Coconut Grove. Yeah, I'm the past president of the Rotary Club of Coconut Grove
Is that
in Florida. Florida,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, my wife and I are contemplating moving south. So,
Well,
New
come to
York
Coconut-
has gotten ridiculously expensive.
Oh, well, Miami is not gonna be, not gonna be any better.
It's all relative. I mean, and then the biggest expense here is property taxes. So for homeowners, and I mean, they kill us in New York State. And I'm in Westchester County, which is the highest tax state in the country. So it's nuts. And it's not getting any better.
Yeah.
So when we could give ourselves a very significant raise just by leaving New York State, depending on where we went.
Yeah. Yeah,
Really?
maybe not Miami. Yes.
Leslie,
I just,
Tony.
yes,
It's in my wife's name, but my name is Tony. So
okay, it's Gloria. Well, I see Leslie, so I'm not sure.
that's fine. I'll answer to
Okay.
either.
Okay, so I wanted to let you know, and your wife know, that I've been battling with leukemia, cancer of the blood and the bone, since 2013. I was diagnosed in August of 2013. And so if you want to talk, we can talk. I have some words of encouragement and maybe share my experience of how
I
I have
appreciate
walked
that.
the journey. Yeah, because I know how it feels when you are given that diagnosis. I know how it feels. So if you want to talk, if she wants to talk, we can arrange and we can have a talk on Zoom.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Gloria,
And I'm still on treatment. I take medication every day.
mhm.
But there are some maybe experiences I can share with you which can help to give you some hope and to uplift your spirit and to give you some confidence.
I appreciate that. She just finished a 6-week course of treatment, and next week she goes back to the doctor for another exam to see if there are any, tumors, present. And, we're hoping and praying not, because, she was just in the hospital again right before our Thanksgiving, which was in November, because it had recurred. And this particular type of cancer is one that recurs pretty regularly. So the challenge for them is to keep it inside the bladder wall if they can eliminate it there. So that's what they're attempting to do. So my hope is that that'll be a short process, but we don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, wishing her all the best of luck and God's blessing. My thoughts are with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
And with you too, Gloria.
Thank you.
Yes.
Had no idea that you were battling cancer as well.
Yeah, I am 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to say, this is why I love Rotary. This is clearly building goodwill and better friendship. So thank you all. I just appreciate being a part of this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Wednesday is always good for my energy level. I get so energized by these meetings.
Yeah.
If we could just share with more people. I just don't understand why people don't want to just zoom in here every Wednesday morning. Well, everybody have a wonderful week. And Helene, I'll be in contact with you about if you could even send me some flyers or something with your happy hour with a purpose. It might even bring our 2 Rotary clubs together, which yes,
Yeah.
would be wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you a flyer today.
Great, thank you.
Okay. So
Okay,
bye all.
we are
Hope
now
to see you
going to
next week.
leave.
All right.
Yeah,
Take
thank
care.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.